What we're gonna do right here is go back.
Who says you can't have fun with something small? Who says bigger engines are always best? And is £250 a month for one of these just right, or too much?
If this was 1984, this would be the XR2, where it all started. You would be working hard for your money to get one, and it would be on your wall next to a picture of Apollo Creed nearly nude. You'd be arguing with supercar fans on a daily basis, thinking that this is rubbish due to its 3-cylinder engine, 197 horsepower and 6.5 second 0 to 60.
Secretly though, they will all want to go in it, and you can just say, nah.
The new ST might not, though, be as cheap as you think. The Mini Cooper S and the Polo GTI on Leasing.com are about £200 a month, making this, of the three, the most expensive.
It may be, but it's also one of the best performance cars Ford have ever made. And so what you're paying for is expertise, heritage, and a lot of polish. Steering response in this car is the fastest responding steering in their whole range. The tiniest movement will move this car around almost in a completely flat line. You could almost blow this round a corner. It's that accurate.
First impressions? Very good. A performance car then that you can use every day. It is actually easy to drive. Hooligan amounts of joy too. And it's humble and delivers a real world, get this, 46 miles to the gallon. It's not expensive to insure either. There's an optional limited slip diff you might not need, along with wireless charging and a decent speaker system for your drill music. You can also choose the number of doors you want.
This time round it has the 1.5 litre engine with 3 cylinders, and not only can it produce all that power with its very clever Ford EcoBoost technology, but it can also shut down one of the cylinders to make it a very economical 2-cylinder car, or in other words, one of these.
With the selectable driving mode set to Sport, you'll get the soundtrack, which you'll hear here shortly. The dampers are fixed, so there's no comfort mode yet. You'll be so impressed with the handling in general, you probably won't care. And it gives the Germans a run for their money with the interior quality.
You can tell that Ford have made an awful lot of decisions with this car, certainly with the electronic steering, the chassis, and the brakes, and the suspension, because it feels like everything's been done for a weight-saving reason and to make sure there's lots and lots of grip from these front wheels. The result is a very firm ride, which I like if you're going to be doing this kind of stuff.
Whilst the confidence this car gives you on corners will make you feel like Nigel Mansell.
What do you mean?
Ask your mum. The braking might not, which will remind you not to drive it like a complete idiot. Besides, you won't need to because the soundtrack will always be there.
A lot of people don't like sound being pumped into a car. The thing is, the more futuristic we get, the more this is going to happen. However, Ford have got a thing called a sound symposium. This works by taking the sound from the induction of the engine using a device, and it pumps the air through, and there's a little flap, and that sort of EQs the sound. It sends that into the car. So let's have a listen and see what we think. Now this is the purest sound you can get. I do like the popping. It's not like the BMW one. It comes through the speakers, doesn't it? Like a CD. It's just like a CD on loop. Dad, what's a CD? Music thing. Oh, somebody at school said it. Never mind. Just to give you an idea of how much room you've got in the back, here we are. Obviously it's a Fiesta. There is a little indentation on the back of the seat, which is quite clever, so you can get your knees in, and these seats are very comfortable, as are the Recaros. I like the little bit of blue stitching here on the seat belts. And anyway, the reason why I'm back here is to talk about the sound, because for £350 only, or if you're leasing £10 a month extra, you can get the B&O sound system, which includes a lot. You get full range here in the rear, full range in the front, mid-range speaker on the dash, then you get DSP under the front seat and a proper sub in the rear. What Hi-Fi said that this system is their 5-star in-car system, which I thought was really good, and I would give it a good 4 stars. It's a good system for £350. You're not going to get a better sound for less money, so if you're speccing, add that. That brings us on to Sync 3, which is, well, you know what Sync 3 is. It's that, and it isn't brilliant, although there are some good bits. Let's do the not-so-wells first. So first of all, the icons aren't great to look at, and they don't match this in any way. That spoils it to me. The rest of it's pretty good. For instance, I like the speed at which the hotkeys all work. I like the positions of the hotkeys. The maps are very good, and so is the navigation. So it all works perfectly well. You won't even be using that. Chances are you'll be using the Android or the Apple. It's also got a very intuitive BMW style voice activated system, which I think is good. Where is the police station? And there you are, all the police stations, which is good because there's several there. I thought they were all closed.
Ignoring the actual 0 to 60 figure, it's all really about the second and third gear torque going on here, and if you don't respect it, chances are you might be at one of those police stations with a 7-day speeding ticket producer thing. It's a quick car from 20 miles an hour onwards, so don't say I didn't warn you.
I don't dispute the absolute excellence of this. It's completely brilliant to drive, and I'd probably have one of these over the impractical Focus RS. However, I'm wondering whether it's just a little bit too close in terms of price to the class above. For instance, on Leasing.com, an M140i BMW is only another 40 quid a month. Then for another 50 quid a month, you've got a Golf R. That's a decision I don't really want to make, and I'll probably leave that to my experts. You lot.
With all that power, MPG and insurance from as low as £233 a year, and slightly less road noise than a Golf R, it does kind of make an argument for saving the cash and choosing one of these. Last year, more people did that in one form or another than any other car in this country. And with 30 years practice making it, you can be assured the Performance Fiesta is still an undisputed champion.